there, guys. How are you doing? Welcome back to another video by myself, Beach ASMR. Now, on the channel before, we have done 2, maybe 3 backgammon videos, but I've never sat and actually talked through how to play the game. So this is going to be a comprehensive, soft-spoken guide on how to play backgammon. If you're here and you clicked on this video because it's for backgammon instructions and you're wondering why I'm speaking all softly like this, this is an ASMR video with the main purpose being for relaxation, but I do hope it is informative as well. Okay, so I hope you're comfortable. I hope you're having a lovely morning, day, evening study session, whatever it is you might be doing, and let's crack in. So, the basic aim of backgammon is to get all of your players, all of your pieces, from one corner of the board around to the other side of the board and then off. Equally, your opponent is trying to do the same thing first. And that is the most basic way I could describe it. We've got a few different areas of the board that we need to know. So we'll go through that. Okay, so up on the far side of the board we have the black end, and on the closer side of the board we have the white end, just for the purpose of today. It doesn't really matter when you play, but I'm going to have it that this is where white are and this is black. So this area here is going to be known as the white home table. Okay? Whereas this area is going to be the black home table. So my white pieces are going to be working from this way, and we're going to be going this way around the board. So we'll be starting here and working this way, whilst the black pieces are going to be starting in this quadrant and working around this way. Okay, so white home, black home. So I'm trying to get my white pieces here and off, while my opponent would be trying to get their black pieces there and off. There isn't really a benefit to being the white or the black pieces. It's not like chess, it's just the two colours. A lot of boards that I play on might have white and red pieces, or you can see that my pieces are like just an unpainted wood versus black wooden pieces. Righto, let's get the board set up. I'm just going to check on my camera angle. I've got a bit of a rigged setup going on. I'm balancing a camera tripod with some books and a hot water bottle to stop it from falling. It's a little bit precarious, so I'm just going to check it's all okay still. Looks alright. Okay, so each team starts with 5 pieces already in their home base in a single column. As you can see, over the years we've lost one of the original pieces, but that's fine. So each team starts with 5 pieces in their home column on the 6 in their home base. They next have 3, with a gap in between right here. They then have 5 pieces, about kind of 3/4 of the way around. And then 2 pieces start as far away from their home as possible. So right now my board is nice and symmetrical. So I can tell it's right because it's nice and symmetrical. I've got 2 and 2, and these 2 are as far away as possible from the home base. We've then got 5 and 5, 3 and 3, and then another 5 and 5. So here's my black home, here's my white home. To decide who gets to go first, both players would normally roll a dice, and whoever lands highest would go. Okay? But before we try that, there's a few things we need to know. So when we roll our dice, you might get 2 numbers. For example, let's have, a 3 and a 4. Okay? I can then move one of my men a 3, and another piece I could move it a 4. So for example, I might go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they are now single on their own, they are what we call a blot. And a blot is a point occupied by a single man. These pieces are vulnerable. If on my next go I happen to roll, say a 3 and a 4 again, with these 2 pieces here, I could go 1, 2, 3. Let's do it a 3 and a 1, and then I could move it 1. And what would happen is that this piece that got landed on goes to the bar, and I have to roll to get back in. And when you get back in, you go to whatever number you landed on in the opposite home table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If a point has 2 or more pieces on it, then another player cannot land on it. So for example, if I was to roll a 5 and a 6 as the white or the wooden player, I could not go in because 5 and 6 have got more than 2 on them. They've got more than 2. So therefore, I would miss my go. If I was to roll a 5 and a 4, what I could do is I could use my 4, and then I might use my 5 to move a different piece. So my go would continue as normal. Okay? The second thing that we need to know about is an AC juicy. Okay? When we get an AC juicy, we have rolled a 1 and a 2 together. It doesn't matter which colour. It could look like that. It could look like that. When you get an AC juicy, you have hit the big time, because you need to move your piece 2 times, then 1 time, and then you pick any number you want, and you can move that number 4 times. A classic way to do AC juicy from the start, if I was to get it from my first go, as I'll just do it as the white team because I'm closer, is I would move 1, 2, 1, and I would do sixes. So you could go 2 sixes, 3 sixes, and then 4 sixes, and that would be a classic kind of acey juicy first move. As you move, ideally you don't want to be creating any blots if possible. You want to always make sure you're making strong points. Okay? Righto. Let's do a couple practice hands and we'll see what we land on. Maybe even we can talk about some tactics. And then, might be it. So let's keep going. Here we are. So turn the gain up just a little bit. Okay, here we go. So I've not got my my tea towel to roll on, but we'll just we'll do a shake in the hand. So we got a 4 and a 5. I'll go with black first. 4 and a 5. Normally, when you have two numbers next to each other, that is amazing, but only when you have, say, two pieces close to each other. But we don't, so I think we're going to go for 4, and then also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just try and move that piece out of there. I know I've got 2 blots, but it's very unlikely for white to attack here. Maybe here, but very unlikely for here because you don't really gain anything. I feel like this isn't... Alright, 6 and a 1. So I'm going to try and make a point here. I'm going to move U6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and U1. What I've done now is what I call a wall, where you're making it harder for your opponent to get out, because I'd have to get a 4 and then another 4 to get out, or a 4 and a 6, or a 4 and a 5. But I cannot land in any of these 3, so I'm making life harder for the black piece here. Alright, then we've got 2 and a 3. So I'm gonna try and get rid of one of my blots. So I'm gonna go 1, 2 to get rid of a blot, and then 1, 2, 3. I'm moving this piece closer to home, but it's still pretty far out of reach of these 2 that could potentially come and cause me some issues. Back to white. I should mention I've got my eyes closed off camera, so I have no idea what the piece is going to be. This is the same piece. I'm just really aware of the sound. It's really loud. Right, okay. 4 and 5. So here I would probably go with... This is where I said, oh, we're not in the firing line. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the black piece is in the bar, and so this guy now has to try and get in over here. So we got a 3 and a 2, so I could land on 3, move this guy 1, 2, and now I've turned these into a point, so this is now safe. These can't be landed on. But I have 2 white blots up here. Let's see what white can do. Double 6s, so I might go... Oh, let's think this through. I don't know if it's worth getting it out. I don't know if it's worth moving that over. I want to keep my wall, so I'm going to go 2 6s. And then I'm actually going to go 3, 4 6s. Because I wanted to leave a little haven for these guys to try to get to. And I didn't want to move too many of these over too quickly. I'm going to stop now and we're going to build some different scenarios in. Okay. Oh, I should have mentioned, no, when you know doubles, you go again. So we'll go again. 4 and 1. So, you might go, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Right, let's build in some different scenarios. So, let's move to an end game situation. So I'm going to build here 2 different end games, and I want you to try and figure out which player is better off. I have one down here. So I think you can probably already tell which one of these has got the better board setup. 100% it is the black pieces. So when we have got all of your pieces in your home quarter, you're allowed to do what we call bearing off. And to bear off, you have to roll the corresponding number to where one of your pieces are. So if I was black, I know that no matter what I roll, I can take at least one piece off. If I was to roll a 2 and a 4, I would go 1, 2 and take off my 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4 and take off the 4. So the first person to get all their players bared off or off the board, they would win the game. Okay? They win the game. So therefore, my blacks are in a way better position because I can get much, much more. If you don't have a piece in a position to bear off, but it is still a lower number than what you've got. So for example, I might be missing a 2 and I could roll a 4 and a 2. I could take my 4 off, but I would have to move one of these other pieces by 2. So I might go 1, 2 and I'd fill in that gap before I could take it off. Okay? Where we have an issue here is this is a player who has had to bunch everything up. So if I get a 4, 5 or 6, say I rolled 2 6s, that would mean nothing and I could do nothing with my go as white. But if I rolled 2 6s as black, I'd be really happy. I could take off 4 pieces at once and roll again. Okie dokie. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. What have I not talked about? How to choose who starts. So normally you choose a dice each, and it's whoever rolls the highest number starts. I think that might just be it for the basics of backgammon. So you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I really hope you've learned something. I hope you have somewhat enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night, evening, study session, morning, whatever it is you might be doing. And I'll see you later. Bye bye for now.